And welcome to the DoD. This is Dose of Desi, moments of inspiration and motivation to get you through your day. Let's be honest, life can be intense, but it's awesome to have someone to walk you and coach you through this journey we call life. I want to talk to you today from the thought, share your story. But before we get into that, let's put some balance to this. I am encouraging you today, as you feel led by the Spirit or opportunities come to you, to share some of the things that you're going through. Now, disclaimer, don't share everything with everybody, because let's be honest, everybody can't handle everything. If we shared our whole life story or our resume, let's be honest, some people are going to need a therapist because we've been through too much. Life has hit us and hit us. But the awesome thing about God is that all things work together for our good. And so even though we've been through crazy stuff enough to make a movie, God can make that and turn it into one, possibly our purpose, and a ministry, and use what we've been through to help others. Kind of like my story. I've shared it a few times on the page, how I took a character flaw and turned it into videos. And now people all over the world are being blessed by it. So if God can do that for one area of my life, what is he going to do for the rest, all the other areas that I'm still working towards submitting to him and that he's working through? So let's talk about sharing our story. When we share our story, others are blessed by it. And sometimes we don't want to share our story because we're embarrassed or we're ashamed. But once we get to the point where we can tell somebody, you know what? I had a mental illness, or you know what? I had a battle with depression and God brought me through it. Or I had a problem a few years ago and I got through it with the help of God. And the awesome thing about our stories, when we do share them, is that we get to see the love of God, the mercy of God, and his forgiveness toward us, towards other people. And it's awesome because when you are sharing your story of deliverance, when you're sharing your story of hope, it's literally giving hope to other people. I never forget when my grandfather was in that transition stage, and I've shared about him before on the channel. So many people were giving me hope about how there is life after grief. There is life after death. And if you're going through a situation where you are in the process of losing a loved one, first of all, I want to let you know I am praying for you. And I'm going to give you the verse that helps me. And I use this scripture when I know someone's dealing with a loss of a loved one. Isaiah 41:10. That thing brought me through, and I pray it helps you as well. But anytime you are going through a storm, maybe you're trying to fix a character flaw, maybe you're going through a family situation, maybe you had some craziness going up as a kid and you're now as an adult trying to figure it out, right? Let me tell you this. If you feel led to have the boldness, or maybe someone has the boldness to share with you their story, or you feel led to tell their story, because like I said, you can't share your story with everybody because everybody can't handle your story. But if you get the boldness to do it, or someone shares it with you because they have the boldness to do it, I promise you, you will have hope. And the reason I don't mind sharing some of my stories is because I understand that you watching this is giving you hope. And the reason I know it's giving you hope, because when I go to Chipotle or go to the store or go to a food festival, I'm bound to find somebody who watches the show and they're like, oh my gosh, Dee, I love DOD. So I know that I am fulfilling my purpose by giving you hope. And you can do the same thing for somebody else. The Bible tells us in Revelations 12:11, I'm going to read it real quick. And it says, and they overcame him, the devil, by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony, and they did not love their lives unto death. So let's just first focus on that first part. When we testify, when we share our story, right? When we tell others what we've been through, what God has delivered us from, regardless of how big or how small it is, right? It gives others hope to move forward, to conquer and survive. And every time we move forward, we conquer and survive, the enemy, number one, gets terrified. And two, he is defeated again because you decided to win. And that means Christ ultimately wins. All right, guys, I love you. And we will see you on the next go round.